everyone, and welcome to another segment of astrologyanswers.com's weekly horoscope. My name is Terence Scardino. The week begins on Monday, July the 15th. It's a very active week astrologically, very emotional. A lot of things are coming to a head. The basic theme for all of us will be relationships. From some very personal relationships to professional relationships. Especially being triggered are Cancers and Capricorn. Now, what is going on Monday? The moon is in Capricorn, and it's going to be aligning with restricted reality Saturn. And a moon Saturn can also be a day of being really serious and responsible and focused. But they're both going to be in opposition with Venus, the planet of love and relationships. Opposition is that confrontation or interaction. So you're already feeling that's the moon, and the moon is going full, which will peak the next day. So there's a lot of emotions that are rumbling, that are already testing relationships. On Tuesday, the 16th, it's a full moon lunar eclipse. Now, a regular full moon will bring matters to a head, a time of culmination, always in general testing some kind of relationships, but the effects are only very emotional or stressful for a couple of days. With a lunar eclipse, if it's triggering a planet of Cancer or Capricorn in your chart, by 2 or 3 degrees, the effects can last for several months. But most people won't have this full moon lunar eclipse triggering a planet or a sensitive point in the chart. So it's just going to be a really intense full moon where the effect's going to last at least a couple of weeks. Now, this on that day of the full moon lunar eclipse, it's in Capricorn, and so the moon's in Capricorn opposite the sun in Cancer. So it's triggering that Capricorn Cancer axis. Cancer is home and family. Now, on a full moon in general and a lunar eclipse making it more supercharged is always testing relationships in general. Either it comes to light and you're realizing we want to be together, or you're starting to see the endings. Venus on that day of the full moon lunar eclipse is in direct opposition to Saturn. You were feeling it on Monday, it's exact on Tuesday. This could be this real testing reality check with relationships, or it could be an ending, or you could start to really see the cracks in the dam. And the lunar eclipse is bringing all this to light. However, a lunar eclipse, like a solar eclipse, it's a darkening of the light. So there could be information that's still hidden, not being revealed. This only means that it may take a couple of weeks before you, in other words, you might be thinking to yourself, I don't know if this relationship is going to last, but I think I'm at the last straw. But then you don't say anything. And then because the eclipse is this hidden energy, it could take a couple of weeks before you make the announcement where I'm out of here. But that Venus-Saturn is also really favorable. Always got to look to the positive, because astrology is always showing you ways to evolve and grow. And Saturn is taking responsibilities and accountability in relationships to Venus, the planet of relationships. The full moon is only bringing this to an urgent head. So you can either have this recognition that I've got to really work on my relationship, or when am I need to let this go so I can move on. But you still may be sitting with it for a couple of weeks, and Mercury is in retrograde, so you may still, till the 31st of July, so you still may be second guessing yourself. I don't know, can I really trust this decision? Just let it unfold naturally. Don't force it. You will feel more comfortable coming to your decision, which is for your higher good, within a couple of weeks. Now, by Thursday, Venus, planet of love and harmony, is going to be in the best flow of energy to Neptune. So for those that really want to work on a relationship, you see hope in the relationship, by Thursday, you're starting to get a sense with the Venus-Neptune if there is a future and a healing. The Venus-Neptune is this inspiration, this idealism, this romanticism. So things could really come to a head Monday, particularly Tuesday, still reeling it from Wednesday. But for those relationships that are going through a growth period, it needs to be challenged and then it wants to grow, by Thursday could be very romantic. Now, by Friday, Mercury that's been retrograde, it started in Leo, creative, romantic, outgoing Leo, and now has retrograding, meaning it's appearing to go backwards. Now it's back into Cancer. And it'll be there through the, I think around August the 11th. But for those last 2 weeks of July, communication Mercury is still retrograding, but now it's in Cancer. And Cancer can be more reflective, sensitive, emotional. Your mind, Mercury, could be really focusing on your family, early childhood, your emotional programming. So what comes up with the lunar eclipse could also be really bringing a lot of these family patterns, your habits, bringing it more into clarity for you to do a lot of revising, rethinking, retooling to get it more on track so it serves you, as opposed to you being swept away by your own unconscious patterns. So this can also be a very powerful personal healing time for a lot of people. And by Sunday, Venus, loving Venus, is now going to be in opposition, interaction with transformational Pluto. The good relationships that a lot of you could start to see the signs on Thursday with the Venus-Neptune. By Sunday, the good ones, the ones that can be salvaged and repaired, the Venus-Pluto could be a day of reconciling, a lot of talking. We need to get on the same page. And this could be a major healing in your relationship. For those who are second guessing, is this over? When do I tell them? When do I leave? You're getting more of that answer by Sunday about allowing yourself to let go for those relationships that have already outlived its purpose. Before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for the one question offer for a nominal fee. You can find a direct link to order it in the description box below the video. Time of birth is always really important, and if you put your birth information in with the question, it'll just make sure that I have the correct information. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, have a great week.